Hello, Anamika. Hey, good to see you.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, great seeing you.
Can you hear me properly?
Yes, absolutely. Crystal clear.
Okay, you clear also. So let me see. So there are many people attending. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome Harpreet. Welcome Gagandeep. Welcome Srishti, Anita, Rajesh. Welcome Sudesh. Many people are coming in. Anamika, for your talk. Lovely.
No pressure.
We have.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, friends, if you can hear me properly, you should write yes. And good evening to you all. Write yes in the chat box so that I know that I'm loud and clear. And if you can hear Anamika, can you just say hello so that we know that people can hear you as well? Anamika, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Good.
Fact that I'm in the mountains. The video connectivity will be a little erratic. So whenever there is a lag, I will try and switch the video off. So at least you can hear my voice.
Great. Fantastic. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this lovely webinar that's been planned by Anamika to talk about social, her, her, her life in the mountains, I'd say. I won't talk about her work. She let her do that, but life in the mountains, which I'm really envious about. And I wish I could be there as well. Yeah, there she's gone. But she'll be back soon. So nothing to worry about. Great. So most people can hear me, and you will have Anamika joining in a minute. As soon as she joins in, I'll introduce you to her. Her to you, and then I will introduce myself, and then we'll let her get on with her job. I think she has some serious issues with her internet. Please wait. She'll be here. She's back. Yeah. Anamika, you back? Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I'm going to quickly introduce you. So Anamika is a permaculturist who has been growing, weeding, planting, composting, be it on a rooftop in the city or helping friends and family out with theirs. She shifted to the hills 3 years ago. The intention was to live a slower life, more connected with nature and connecting with the community around. Well, she's saying that she evangelizes about composting, water harvesting structures, and she's trying to lead a chemical-free and sustainable life. She loves cooking and experimenting with different cuisines and cooking styles. She collects gardening tools, interesting utensils, and seeds on her travels. She works with Kilmora, and that allows her to build relationship with the community, especially with the amazing women and men who work for her. All the while going back to slower artisanal food that is made using local and seasonal fruits and grains. That sounds really good, really interesting. So, a quick introduction about myself. I am Mohit Agarwal. I'm blessed with 4 children, a son and a daughter, and 2 non-humans. My daughter is here currently with me here on the webinar. And so the 2 non-humans are, one is a dog, Labrador, and the other one is an escapee African grey. There's some karmic connection. I'm the follower of Shiva, god of karma. Professionally, I'm an experiential ecotourism specialist with a deep love for nature. I help people travel to some wonderful places in nature. I'm on the board of Asian Ecotourism Network and I've been trained and certified by GSTC in sustainable tourism. I'm the founder of Asian Adventure, the 27-year-old travel outfit. It is the largest and number one birdwatching tour company in India. I'm the founder of Netta, an email value marketing company. These companies are on a large mission to help Asian elephants with their corridors, free the Himalayas of plastic waste. We also help NGOs, wildlife NGOs, and we are on a mission to conserve the ancient Himalayan temples. So that's a bit about me. And friends, now over to Anamika. Let her unfold her magic and show you and tell you all that she's got. So over to you, Anamika.
Well, thank you, Mohit. First of all, I would like to thank all the attendees who've taken time out and come in on a weekend evening to be here. I also wanted to reiterate and remind people that I stay in the mountains, which also entails a slightly erratic network connectivity. In case there is a video lag, please excuse. I might just switch off the video and just switch on to the presentation. Uh, it is a journey about myself in the mountains, and it is also a story about a lovely social organization that I am now a part of. So let me just start off with my presentation. So, social empowerment in Kumaon. Kumaon is a slightly remote part of Uttarakhand. It's in the Himalayan region of Uttarakhand state in India. Uh, Livelihoods are a challenge. Climate change is very real, and a lot of people are now starting to migrate to the cities for better livelihood options, aspirations, all of that kind of goes hand in hand. At Kilmora, we are trying to reverse that migration. But before I start on Kilmora, I wanted to share my journey and how I started and came into the hills. So we shifted to the mountains about 3 years back, my husband, a dog, and myself. And these were the first couple of photographs taken over the first couple of days. We had no furniture. Uh, the moving van hadn't yet come in. Our roads were too narrow for the moving van to come in. We had very few pots and pans, but we did have wonderful open spaces around us. And that is what we sat outside and enjoyed the first couple of evenings. So the shift here was, of course, made possible because of the help extended by our friends. Friends helped to find a place for us to rent. We stay in a rented accommodation. And that luck also extended to finding landlords with whom we are on an identical wavelength. Whenever they come visiting, we eat together. We spend a lot of time together. So I'm really blessed to have excellent, excellent landlords, the Kotwals. And I finally had land on which I could grow vegetables the year round, design some water harvesting structures to harvest rainwater. And I make some foul smelling, absolutely foul smelling Jivamrut to spray on all the fruit trees and vegetables, and they love it. So 3 months into my stay here, I was invited and asked if I would like to join and head the agri unit at Kilmora. Uh, it would help me connect with the community and a social organization doing excellent work at the grassroots and with the local community. So the answer was easy, but it was also life-changing at the same time. So Kilmora is a social organization. It's a 25-year-old company. And we have a small core team that multitasks on various fronts. The whole objective of us keeping it small is to keep our operational costs absolutely minimal so that we can work with more weavers, knitters, farmers. We create handmade woven and knitted products, and we also make artisanal small batch jams, jelly, marmalade, chutney. And we also process and sell mountain herbs, grains, and pulses. I would like to share a small video. This is Srishti. She heads our marketing, and she will give you a short glimpse of what Kilmora and Kumaon Gramin Udyog, our parent company, is all about.
My name is Srishti, and I take care of brand and marketing of Kumaon Gramin Udyog. KGU basically has two sides to it. One is the textile side, one is the agri-produce side. Under the textile side, we do hand woven and hand knitted items. I was in the corporate sector and I was working, and my last job was in Singapore, and I realized that there's something else that I wanted to do. So I decided to write to some of these organizations here, KGU being my first preference, and they said they'd be happy to have me. The first time I came here and then I saw those weavers working on the loom, mind is equal to blown. How a person, involving all their limbs and continuously working throughout the day churn out such beautiful patterns. It's incredible. I mean, one has to see it to believe it. The beauty of handwork, especially in the villages, in the mountains, a woman has to take care of everything. She does farming, she takes care of the kids, she takes care of the house. No job that she doesn't do. And then she comes here and she learns this beautiful art, and then she churns out those art pieces. I think that is what I'm most proud of, the kind of incredible work that these women are capable of doing. That is when, it hit me that, okay, this is something that people need to know more and more about. My goal is to find newer markets and bigger markets for KGU so that at the back end we can impact more people. KGU is a for-profit company. It's a Section 8 company, but the great thing is that the community that gets the money. We support a school, we support a hospital in the region, which again goes to a holistic community development approach that KGU has. Our name goes Kumaon Gramin Udyog, and ideally that's what our immediate goal is, to be able to impact the entire region of Kumaon, and of course then going forward Uttarakhand, and take it forward. I mean, there's no full stop to where we want to go.
I think I think your sound is gone.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes, now
Yeah.
you're audible.
Yeah. So the last bit of that video also showed that we are affiliated with Fairtrade, we are affiliated with Craftmark. Fairtrade means that we have equitable wages, we have great working conditions for both genders, and I don't know, it's just a fantastic place to work in. So to go back, we are a 25-year-old company and we focus, as Srishti mentioned. Thank you, Srishti. That was a great, great introduction to what we do, very briefly. So this lady on the left is a weaver. The skill, the absolute skill that they have in weaving, in knitting, it blows my mind. You really have to see the intricacy and the delicacy with which they do these absolutely amazing patterns, which just come out from the loom and leave you mind blown. Uh, we have knitters. We have our knitting supervisor who goes to different parts in different locations to uh, work with women in different times of the week. I will not get into too much detail about that. We do have some upcoming webinars for those. I will focus on the agri division. These are some glimpses from the school, which is funded by some of our revenues. This is Chirag School in the area. Amazingly brilliant place. I wish I had studied there. So our woven products, as you can see, they're extremely popular. Uh, we Most of our regular customers, in fact, have their favorite shawls and woven saris in their wardrobe, each with their own special colors and each garment carrying with it its own story. We've heard of woolen saris being worn for special occasions. And we've also heard similar stories from our customers who buy our knitted goods. So we, in fact, during the pandemic, we had customers reaching out, mothers reaching out to us saying that, our son has lost that tiger, and he absolutely loves it. And is there any way that you can help us get another one? So those are the kind of stories that bring us so much joy. But again, leaving those for another webinar. I now come to the agri division. This is the story of our cold pressed oils. So while I share with you my journey with Kilmora, I will also, in between, also talk a little gushingly about how synergized we are, where I find my own passion being reflected in the team that I work with. I could not have done this alone, and the team is fantastic to work with. You'll meet all of them slowly. So we go back to this, where we are also talking about the story of apricot oil, which is again intertwined with Kilmora's stories of providing livelihoods in a sustainable manner. The cold pressed oil unit was in fact started as a means to provide livelihoods to farmers in the region. There's a particular variety of apricot called chuaru, which at one point in time found very few buyers because it's very soft, very difficult to transport, spoils quickly. So the kernel of this particular variety of apricot, chuaru variety of apricot, also has more oil. And that is what we chose to buy as a source of livelihood for the farmers. Now, if we cut to the current scenario, sale of apricots is on the rise, harvest is declining, climate change is very, very real. Chuaru variety also finds a market. But we at Kilmora, however, we still persist in finding the fallen fruit, buying seeds directly from the farmers, giving them an assured livelihood option for a product which was at one point considered a waste. And as you can see from the slide, our newest addition to cold pressed oils is our edible flaxseed oil. It's high in nutrition, and again, a seed for which the farmer would not really get paid that well, not its true value. What you see on the left-hand side are the apricot kernels going into the cold press, where it is slowly ground by Rajanda, who heads the apricot oil unit, to make this beautiful, beautiful apricot oil and scrub. In our herbs, grains, and spices unit, we focus on buying again from small and marginal farmers, and they, in fact, we have about 700 farmers associated with us from whom we buy local and seasonal produce. In the herb division, we work largely with women, encouraging them to grow herbs as a supplementary source of income, to ensure also that the money stays in their hands. It's not just enough to give them the income, we also have to ensure that the money is in their hands. We try and pay them directly into their bank accounts. And initially, this was met with a lot of resistance from their end because of perception, difficulty in accepting something new, thinking of how it would be viewed by their husbands, other male members, other senior members of the family. But slowly, we have persisted, we have built relationships, and things have changed. We also go out to buy grains, seeds, and spices directly from the farmers. We do away with middlemen and contractors, and to a large extent try and give them a fair price. Very often, the price offered by us is higher than what they would get from the middleman. And in an endeavor to increase our reach and increase the number of farmers, women farmers especially, who are associated with us, we have also leased out a small herb farm where we have started growing saplings, which we will supply in larger quantities to women in the area. We know that some of them will fail, but we also know that some of them will succeed. And if we do not give them a chance, they'll never really try. All of this will, of course, be supported with constant supervision and initial training from our end. We are always available to answer any and all questions, of course. And we are also making small videos on how to grow, how to transplant, cut, dry herbs, making it easier for the first-time farmer who's growing herbs for the first time. Nobody is a first-time farmer in Uttarakhand. So unfortunately, these videos are on hold because of the pandemic, but we hope to have these in place very soon. A glimpse into our herb drying trips to the villages in the area where we go to buy directly, again, from the growers. And the lady on the right, she is one of the growers. And don't be fooled by her apparent age, her stamina, her spirit, her capability to work long hours. It'll leave us city folks far behind. I can assure you of that. And we are always mindful of specific requests from farmers. Some ladies request for larger leafed herbs as they're easier to clean and sort with their failing eyesight. And these requests are some things we happily cater to, as our focus is on building long-term relationships. In the fruit division, we again buy directly from small and marginal farmers. I would like to play a video of this amazing lady, a short video.
मेरा नाम विप्लव लाल और मालटे दे रहे
So most of them are actually very shy to come onto the camera. So, but we do manage to convince some of them. So we are always very conscious of giving them a fair price, avoiding the middleman. But we also realize that, they could earn more. They need to earn more. And the only way the fruit grower will get a better price is when we increase their earnings. And that would be by buying larger quantities from them. That is where I am coming in. I'm trying to develop new recipes using locally grown fruits. Increase the numbers, increase the number of farmers associated with us. So as you see, all these jars which look delectable, even if I say so myself, how's it all made? Well, all our fruit recipes are actually slow-cooked artisanal products. Our core focus is actually on providing livelihoods in the region. That means we are consciously not using machines which could speed up the process, but at the cost of livelihoods. Our jams, jelly, marmalade, and chutneys are made using old-fashioned traditional methods, using heavy-bottomed stainless steel vessels. So you will find a Malta peel julienne. Let me just share a video of that. So you will find this in the marmalade, Malta marmalade, that is coming out to you now from our shops. And this is being cut by hand. that voice, that other sound that you heard, I'm just going to show you what that was. That, yeah, was the Malta juice being extracted with a hand crank juicer. With some fun, laughter, and conversation. Yeah. So, sorry, let me go back to that. So, if you see here, these are actually very traditional, very um, old world practices of doing. You will find lemon zest. You will find hand grated lemon zest in the hill lemon chutney that is to you. You will, you will find the Malta peels that are cut by hand, as you just saw. So in the end, you get something more than a machine-made product, more than a machine-made industrial product. You may get something that is made with deliberation. You get something which is made with love and tastes like something fond
Friends, have a bit of patience. She'll be back soon. Her internet is acting funny, so please give her a couple of minutes and then she'll be back. And I think the strawberry jams will happen sometime now as well. So strawberry. So, I don't know, Jai, if they ship overseas. Srishti. Oh, okay. Srishti's telling. Srishti, can you please organize 4 bottles of Malta jam before it gets over for me, please? We will wait for other people to come in. In the meantime, let me get Srishti in.
Extremely sorry, Mohit. As I
No,
mentioned, we are in the
no
Pahad zone,
problem.
so
No problem. Go right ahead. Yes, we all were waiting.
yeah. So if we look at this, this is a very traditional way of making a product. We've had some lovely, heartwarming feedback coming in for our products, where people are telling us it reminds them of the marmalade that they used to have at their grandmom's place or something that they've had 15 years back. We're very happy to hear that. And if we go on and continue with the traditional practices, it also means finding and creating a market for traditionally grown grains, seeds, and spices from the region. You can see how beautiful, absolutely stunningly gorgeous all these grains look. Unfortunately, most of us do not know how to use them, or we do not really understand and appreciate them. And that includes me until I shifted here. So, traditional grain, seeds, and spices are actually vanishing because, of course, they don't find a good enough price and they don't have a good enough market. The other challenge is that they are difficult to store for longer periods. So you would need a cold storage or you would need traditional granaries where it can be stored at the basement level at a coolish temperature for them to last longer. But what is really, really important about encouraging these grains and encouraging and finding a market is that these are drought and flood hardy and beneficial to the environment. They can be grown with no chemical fertilizers. So it is imperative to sustain and revive these traditional grains. I feel rather passionate about this, so that comes through. Because it is very important to keep the ecological balance in a rain-fed but water-starved Himalayan region. Yes, it rains, but we are always perennially short of water. So while it all sounds nice, it is equally important to connect it all with the market needs. So in the current scenario, we are all of us, overwhelmed with increased workloads, both professionally and on the personal front. Working from home looks like it's here to stay, at least in the foreseeable future. It means long hours at the desk and lesser in the kitchen. And how much ever we would like to cook fresh food from scratch, some days the challenge feels insurmountable. We heard you, and we are slowly introducing more and more products that ease the workload for a busy cook, be it with our garlic flakes that are sun-dried to the point they feel roasted. I wish you could feel the crunch and smell the aroma. Or the chaat masala that spices up all things with an immediate zing. Or the herb blend for making your continental dishes in a jiffy. Even our chili flakes, the spicy with a kick that will liven up any dish. Some of these are traditional recipes that I brought on board to Kilmora. After all, what is the joy of cooking if it's not shared? And you will find most of these products in my home. My own home kitchen is a lab where it all gets tested before we make even a trial batch at our units. So as I mentioned before, the decision to head the agri unit at Kilmora was easy and life-changing. Easy because food, the preparation, the growing of it, they've been my lifelong passion. Life-changing, it because it gives me an opportunity to be a part of something bigger, something impactful, something that encourages the farmer to pass on traditional growing skills to the next generation. Because the one thing the pandemic has taught all of us is the importance of healthy, nutritious food. So while some things might have changed in my own life, most of it has remained a constant. My love for open spaces and mountains only grows with each passing day. Short city visits, make me even more aware of the noise pollution and things I can do so easily without. I'm yearning to move towards a zero-waste, sustainable life, and that yearning increases with each passing day. I make my own soap using, not to tom-tom, but using the cold-pressed apricot oil from Kilmora. It's fabulous. I'm trying to decrease the use of single-use plastic in my life. We have been and continue to be a completely chemical-free house. And this despite a very, very serious ant and insect attack that we overcame. My fascination and awe for nature has also increased in these last few years. Connection with changing seasons, respect for farmers and the immense hard work needed to produce even a single crop. It's become a lived reality. As you can see, I grow onions and they last me about 6 to 8 months of the year. I can buy potatoes from a colleague. I buy dal from a neighbor. That's me with a 1.75 kilo cabbage. That's some Karela that is from seeds saved from my terrace garden in Delhi, where they would look tame and very precise and petite, and have become flesh-eating varieties here. But while I am harvesting all of this, I also lose crops just as easily. I lost the entire corn crop last year due to an overnight raid by a wild boar. lost a lot of rajma as well in the process, red kidney beans in the process, because it was growing as a companion plant for the corn. And while I grow all of this using only natural additives, I'm also conscious of the fact that we are occupying land that is rightfully for the animals. We do not have sharp barbed wires or electric fencing to keep them out. I am so thankful that we are on the same wavelength with our landlord on this. And we are lucky to have seen barking deer several times in the morning, sometimes eating up peas and lettuce. So while we lose some crop, and I'm very aware that I'm privileged to be able to afford to lose the crop, we gain birds, animals, bees, frogs, and insects in the bargain. So let me leave you with some glimpses of our garden in summers. Uh, you will hear bees. These are the poppy seeds where the bees go wild.
We shall wait. She has only 8 Mbps speed, so we can't blame her. Can you hear me? Don't worry, take your time. I know, Jaya, we're going to wait for Anamika to come back. In the meantime, I'm posting some links here for you to register for our future webinars. I will be bringing more such webinars to you related to conservation, wildlife, ecotourism, bird watching, what NGOs are doing up in the Himalayas, zero waste, many such things. So do sign up for these webinars in the group. I put in 2 links. So she's back. Go right ahead. We still can't hear you.
Yeah. So can you hear me now?
Yes, now we can. Go right
Hallelujah.
ahead.
So the whole idea was to keep the presentation a little brief and field questions from people. They might have it about our organization. They might have it about us moving to the mountains. I'd be happy to answer.
Are you through with your presentation then?
Yes, most definitely. I ended with the bees buzzing.
Okay, excellent, excellent. So, friends, I think that was a brilliant, absolutely brilliant presentation, short, and just to give you a glimpse of what these people do out there for the communities or and with the communities and for the Himalayas unconditionally. So this is, you need to have that sort of intensity within you to be able to do this, to leave, you know, all those goodies of Delhi and then go and stay in the hills. It requires courage, and hats off to you. And that this is so beautiful. So, friends, if you've got questions to ask, go right ahead. And I'm telling you, you'll never be short of questions because you would want to know how is she doing all that what she's doing. So go right ahead. So Anita says, how do you keep up with the weather conditions there?
Uh, well, okay, let me be very honest. Uh, we shifted in June 2018, and I joined Kilmora 3 months after. And it decided to rain on a day where it was very important for me to go into work. And so, just to describe, my going into work entails we don't have a motorable road to our house. So, I walk 8 to 900 meters to where the gadi is parked, and I take the car out and drive, and 800 to 900 meters uphill. I was trying to find ways and means, excuses to not go. अरे बाप रे बारिश हो रही है, oh my god, this is going to be so wet. And but of course it was important for me to go, and I wore lots of city gear, this jacket and one rainproof for my bag and one super large umbrella and these waterproof shoes, and huffing and puffing all the way up. And 100 meters into my walk, I saw the mist rolling in. And it was magical. It's that first falling in love with the mountains at that point was very difficult. It's very difficult. I have not. It's very difficult to feel that way again. It, it's like falling in love, really. So that's what happened. So to answer Anita's question in a very long-winded way, it is a joy to be dealing with the different weather conditions. 4 days of no electricity because we've had snow.
I'll tell you, all these people who are asking these questions, they just aspire to be doing the same things. They want to be in your shoes there. They want to do all of this, which is why they are asking these questions. Now, Sudesh is asking, what is the most difficult thing about moving to the mountains?
Uh, I think you basically need some inherent amount of fitness because otherwise the altitude really gets to you. We were not fit. My husband and I, when I say we, he of course got into it much quicker than I did, but the altitude gets to you, and then you start finding the smallest of things challenging. So a basic amount of fitness uh, helps.
Yep. Anjali is asking, do you have a way of including lay people like myself in Kilmora work for a week or so, like a volunteering plus tourism thing?
Anjali, the reason Mohit is smiling is because we've been having this discussion for a while, uh, and we had it all ready to be rolled out, but unfortunately, due to the pandemic, we've put it on hold. We have minimal healthcare facilities in the mountains, uh, so it is a risk for the team as well as the person who's coming in. I am speaking from my own personal experience where I had to be carried out by a stretcher because of a pretty bad illness, and that was not fun. So, yeah, one needs to be careful, and let's wait and pray for the pandemic to get over.
So, yeah. Vishal Thakur is asking, I think it's a part of community-based tourism. I don't think it's part of community-based tourism. Yeah, tourism could be a spin-off at individual levels. People might just be taking up tourism, but it's not a community-based tourism enterprise, right? It's a social enterprise.
Yeah. So the community-based tourism, I think you got confused with Asian Adventures and the fabulous work they do. Ours is a social enterprise focused on making products, physical products in woven, knitted, and food areas.
Yes. And I have shared your links with people and friends. You're also going to get the replay link in your inbox tomorrow morning. Please feel free to share that link, the replay link, with all those people who might be interested, and so let them see this little chat of ours, and also those people who did not show up here will also get the replay link. This is just the beginning. What you see or what you heard is only the tip of the iceberg. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see some lovely comments coming in about our products, the preserves, handmade woolens. Thank you, Anupa. Anjali says, I love Kilmora products. Thank you, Anjali. I would like to remind everyone that we are going through a pandemic, which means that while apricot season is upon us, depending on how the conditions unfold, we might or might not be able to make that your favorite apricot jam or chutney. But we are trying our best, and please bear with us if some of your orders get a little delayed because of the pandemic.
What about my chutney, my Malta marmalade? Please, I don't want you to tell me that my four bottles are over, or we ate them
There
up.
are too many people, Mohit, fighting over Malta marmalade, one bottle. You know.
I will hang up right now.
किसी ना किसी का पेट खराब होना है.
Okay, friends. So feel free to write to Anamika. I put her email ID also here. Anurag has put the Kilmora. Kilmora is very easy to reach. If you just type Kilmora .in on Google, you'll find them. And I've also put the Facebook link. So reach out to them, and you'd be able to see more information as we go along. How often are we going to be online again? For Kilmora, Anamika, please tell the audience. They're really waiting to know this.
Well, we are hoping to be online every fortnight, and I must absolutely thank Mohit for making this happen, because he has actually been at it. Like, when I say at it, he's been like persisting for the last 6 months with no interest being shown by us. Zilch. And he persisted and he made this happen. So thank you, Mohit, for making it happen. And we are hoping that we can get the entire team excited and one of us pops up every fortnight.
I am just bothered about my 4 bottles of jam. That's all that I bought. Sure. Okay, friends.
Let's take this offline.
Yeah. Okay, great. So thank you all for being here. And Anurag is replying to Balachandra's question, which is, Balachandra, we have 3 shops in Mukteshwar area, 1 shop in Kasar near Almora. And I thought you had 1 near Bhimtal as well, right?
Well, it's actually affiliated with a restaurant. So because the restaurant is closed right now for a brief bit, so the shop is also not opening. So we are in Meheragaon. We have most of our products at Chandi Mati. It's in Meheragaon. So we have a store there as well.
Lovely. Thank you, friends. Thank you for being here. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for spending time listening to Anamika's initiative, the the kind of work that they're doing at Kilmora. And hats off to you, Anurag, Srishti, Anamika, for all the effort that you're putting in, and the team. The people who are there to support you through thick and thin, and to be able to produce and have faith in you that you'd be able to take them further is not a small thing. So really hats off to everyone. Thank you very much, friends, and you will hear from me again. Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye. Good night.